Good morning, lovely yogis. Today for our Hatha practice, we will need just one block or thick book. And once you have that prop, sit up onto it with your knees in that downward facing slant, sitting up nice and tall through the spine. And then take a few deep breaths just to bring your awareness inwards. Simply listen to your breath just for a few moments. Nothing else needs to come into your awareness at this time. Hear and feel your breath. So continue to breathe just like that. This week we are on Brahmacharya, week 4. So this week, contemplate your own divinity. Are you willing to be sacred? Write down 3 practices that connect you to your passion and your sacredness. Being an audience of the divine mystery begins to shift us out of clock time and into a divine rhythm. Spirit's time isn't logical to our minds. It doesn't plan and it doesn't keep track, but somehow the dishes still get done and meals cooked. It just happens from a different place. Being and doing start to blend until they feel the same, where purpose fades and is replaced by the pure delight of the moment. This guideline of Brahmacharya asks us if we can use these objects of technology as guides to help us maneuver through society's demands and expectations without them becoming gods. When we get the real nourishment that divine mystery gives us, the pretend nourishment of excess becomes less and less interesting to us. Being an audience to the bigger picture means having to get off center stage, not having to be center of attention, perhaps putting that divinity there instead. Maybe then we can fall asleep at night with a sense of wonder. Brahmacharya reminds us that we aren't embodied in this form to feel dead, but to feel alive. It invites us to be willing to walk around, switched on to the wonders of life itself. Let's take 5 more ujjayi breaths. Slight constriction in the back of the throat. Breathing in and out of the nose so that you can hear it in your ears. Your last breath, bring yourself forward off of your block. Bring the bottoms of your feet together and lay yourself flat onto the ground. Take a moment to lift the shoulder blades and gently fold them under. Wiggling your toes, feel the connection from one foot to the other. Take a few breaths here, feeling yourself relax down towards the earth. Trying to keep that ujjayi breath throughout the entire practice. And then arms up above the head, Really reaching. Keep breathing. And then bending the elbows, squeezing the shoulder blades together, come down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, down. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Bring the hands up above the head again, letting your hands rest down. Take 3 more ujjayi breaths, nice and slow. Down again to your legs and drawing your knees back towards one another. Let them tend for a moment, tuning into the kind of sensation happening in your hips. And then when you're ready, we're going to rock and roll all the way back up, coming forward into your tabletop position. And from here down to the belly. So take a moment, really wiggle your hips, grounding your pelvic bone in. Bring yourself up onto your fingertips, taking your hands off the mat. Cobra flow. So with your next inhale, lift your heart. And exhale, flow back down. We're going to do 2 more of those. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. One more, inhale. And exhale. Resting all the way down. Arms down by your sides, let your shoulders fall in towards the ground. Take 3 full belly breaths. Hands come under the shoulders. Push yourself up to your tabletop position. And cat-cow. So leading with your tailbone. Let it come up, belly dips. Lift the heart. Round down with the tailbone first, all the way down the spine to the neck, exhaling. Inhale, hips first. Belly drops, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, trying to keep the jaw relaxed. And exhale, flow back down. Bringing yourself back center. We're going to wiggle our hips from side to side and kind of get that spine moving like a wave. So kind of just experimenting with your own body. Feel that wave-like motion through the spine. And then come back to center. Tuck your toes under. Lift the hips back to down dog. First down dog of the day. Walking your heels one at a time towards the ground. Taking lots of time for this motion. Keeping the breath flowing strong. And then both heels come down towards the ground at the same time. And taking 2 more deep breaths. Lift your gaze to your hands, step both feet between them. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold forward. Letting your knees have that micro bend whenever you need that throughout the practice. And let gravity be heavy through the back of your neck. Take a few breaths into the backs of your legs. Two more breaths. And then bending your knees, slowly roll all the way up to the spine. Inhale, reaching your hands to the top. Exhale, hands lead, chin tucks, coming all the way back down. Once your fingertips reach the ground, bend the knees. Inhale as you round all the way up. And hands come down one more time. Feel the heaviness in your fingertips as they lead you back down. And rolling up one more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, hands to the heart. Bringing your feet hip distance apart, lift your toes. Gently placing them down and spreading them. Pada Bandha, locking down to the earth. Let's take a few breaths here. And just moving your awareness through the body of where you're holding on to tension unnecessarily. To that place of stillness for a moment, where it's just you and your breathing again. And then inhale, opening the eyes, reaching up to the sky, feeling that lift through your belly and through your heart. Trying not to pinch your arms over your ears. You're keeping that space. The chest is broad. Keep breathing. Two more breaths. Back to the heart. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinging from your hips, keeping your spine straight, come all the way down. Inhale, lift halfway, gaze ahead. Plant your hand, step both feet back into high plank. Chaturanga, so you're only coming down to hover. Elbows are pointed backwards, shifting forward. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale, lift the hips and come back to your downward facing dog for 3 full inhales and exhales. Fingers are spread nice and wide. You feel lots of length through the back of your neck. And then lift your gaze between your hands, step both feet up. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms, coming all the way up. And exhale, back to the heart. Again, inhale, lifting. Exhale, hinge from your hips, fold forward. Inhale, lift the gaze, straighten the spine. Plant your hands, step your opposite foot back. And then the other, chaturanga, coming down. Inhale, upward facing dog, pressing through the tops of your feet. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. Again, pausing here to breathe. Ujjayi breath. Feel it in your belly. And then lift your gaze between your hands. Step the right foot between the hands and lower the left knee down. Tractioning. If you need to fold over the side of your mat to pad under your left knee, you can. So make sure your right knee is over your right ankle and then push up. Finding some balance. Pulling your belly away from the legs so you're not really leaning into it. And reaching your hands up to the sky. Take a few breaths. Focusing on your balance. And hands come down on the inside of your right foot. Heel toe so that right toe is angled out. Heels angled in. You can untuck your back toe very consciously. Be careful of your knee. Planting your hands down. Take one breath in and out. And if you have the space, you can come down to your elbows. Keep breathing. One more full breath. Bringing yourself back up to your hands. Heel toe that foot back towards the center. Traction the back knee. Pat it if you need to. Bring yourself back up. And if it feels okay for the lower back, start to lift the heart up towards the sky. Doing just a slight back bend. Keeping your knees stacked. Bring yourself forward again, hands on either side of your right foot. And shift your hips back to straighten your front leg, letting the toes lift. And then flow forward and back. One more time, forward. Back, this time holding it back. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, sink over the right leg. Take a few more breaths here. And then come forward again. Consciously tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and sweep back to down dog. Take a breath in and out. Other side, left foot steps up. Lower the right knee down and traction it. So you're pulling forward so that you're more resting on the top part of your right knee than right here. Feels better, safer for the knee. So pushing yourself up, knee is stacked over ankle, pull the belly away, and lift. Take a few deep breaths. And then flow the hands both on the inside of the left foot, heel toe so that your foot is not at an angle. And then plant down through your hands, untucking your toes, however that feels good for you. Take a few breaths here. Sorry, take one full breath here. And then if you have the space, down to the elbows. One more breath. Come back up to the hands. Heel toe that foot back towards the center, grounding through the bottom of your feet. When you're ready, lifting yourself one more time. And then broaden through the chest as you lift it towards the sky and do that gentle leaning back. Staying in control of your neck and of your lower back. Straightening back up through the spine, hands on either side of the left foot. Flow back, letting your front leg straighten, toes lift. And forward. And back. Move with your breath. Staying back this time. Take one more inhale, broaden the chest. And exhale, flow forward. Move forward one more time. Bring your hands up, tuck your toes underneath, lift the right knee, sweep back to down dog. And take 2 breaths in and out here. Really lifting your tailbone towards the sky. Lift the gaze between both hands, step both feet up. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, straight spine coming all the way up. And exhale. From the top of your mat, with your feet hip distance apart, lift your toes. We're going to keep our right foot exactly where it is and take a big step back with our left. Setting up for warrior 2. So your heels are lined up, back foot's parallel to the back of your mat. Right knee is bent and stacked over your ankle. Open the arms up, T position. Let the shoulder blades fold under. Take a breath. And then dancing warrior. So we're going to let our left hand come back down to our back leg. Flip the palm, reaching up and over. Keep your front knee stacked. One more breath. Back to T position. Right elbow comes down to the right knee. Flip the left palm up and over. Take a few breaths. Back up to T position. One more time, doing it a little bit quicker. Left hand comes back down. Flip the right palm. Back to T position, and drop the elbow, left hand up and over. T position one more time, straightening your front leg, and stepping back to the front. And give it a little wiggle for the hips. Left foot plants, big step back with the right. Line the heels up, bend the left knee over the ankle. Open T position. Right hand comes back, left palm flips up and over. Keep your front leg stacked. One more breath. Back to T position. Left elbow comes down, right hand up and over. Roll the heart open. Back to T position. One more time, come back. T position. Left elbow down, right hand up and over. Breathe tall through the spine, through the top of your head. back, straighten the front leg, and step to the front. Wiggling the hips just a little bit. Perfect. So balancing pose, so if you need to move close to a wall, make your way there. Feet are hip distance apart. Lift the toes, spread them, and then gently place them back down. Hands come to your hips. Shift your weight into your left foot, coming into tree pose. So make sure you're grounded through your left foot. And then you can bring your heel to the ankle, to the calf, or depending where you are today, up above the knee. Focusing on your center, growing roots through the bottom of your foot. And take a few breaths, finding your balance. Keep the jaw relaxed. 2 more breaths. And bring the knee back to center and slowly place it down. Other side shifting. Make sure you lift the toes. Hands come to hips. Shift your weight into your right foot. Find your balance there. And then bring your foot wherever on the other side. And this side might look different. Come to the heart center. Take a few breaths as you root and extend. Two more breaths. Bring the knee back to center and slowly lower. Take a moment to wiggle. Coming to the top of your mat, inhale, lift. Exhale, hinge, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. This time stepping directly back to down dog. Take 1 breath in and out. And then bring the knees down and come down to the belly. Really wiggle your hips, grounding that pelvic bone. We're going to do 3 rounds of Salabhasana. So point out through your toes, ground through the pelvic bone, roll your shoulder blades back, arms down by your sides, and then don't hold the breath. Let your breath rock you. One more breath. And then exhale, come all the way down, letting your entire body relax down to the ground. Round 2, same thing except with our arms at our sides, out in a T position. So ground through the pelvic bone, point out through the feet, roll the shoulder blades up, arms out. 3 breaths and rock. And lower down. Maybe wiggling those hips. Let the shoulders relax. Ready for round 3. You can also repeat one of the last 2 if you don't want to reach forward. Totally up to you. So when you're ready, point your toes back, ground through the pelvic bone. Your heart is lifted, and arms forward. Breathe, don't hold it. And then lower down, maybe looking in the other direction. And let yourself relax for a moment, simply breathing. Perfect. Now coming back up to your elbows. We're going to bring ourselves into a Sphinx kind of looking pose with our hands in front of us. Angle your right hand in towards the middle and plant down through the palm. Bend your left knee, reaching back with your left hand. And if you can get on top of the foot, that's great. If not, just continue to reach, pointing elbow up towards the sky, trying not to collapse through the collarbone into your right arm. Keep yourself lifted. Breathe here. Slowly release back to Sphinx. Give the hips a little wiggle. You're keeping that motion and movement going through the spine today. Left hand angles. Right knee bends. Reach back with the right hand for the top of the foot. Elbow comes up towards the sky. Keep yourself lifted through the left arm and breathe. Of course, if you're not reaching your foot, you can also use a belt, a strap, or just the motion of reaching back. More breaths. And slowly release back down. Hands under the shoulders. Very slowly bring yourself up and come back into a really quick child's pose. Toes together, knees apart. And you can come all the way or halfway just to feel some release through the lower back. Bringing yourself up, tabletop first to reset, knees stacked, shoulders over ankle, shoulders over wrists, tuck the toes under, back to down dog for one breath. Turning into pigeon pose, so right knee to right wrist, laying the leg down and coming down. If your right hip wants to sink towards the ground, don't let it. I'll put a block under there because you want to keep it lifted. Right toes are flexed nice and hard. That protects the knee. Take a few moments just to ground down through the palms of your hands. If it feels good to bend your left knee. We're stretching the quads here, just having that motion. Very aware of your knee. One more deep breath in. And as you exhale, come down to the elbows. Really let yourself rest into your pigeon pose, breathing into any harder edges that arise physically or mentally. That pause button and really giving yourself that chance to sit and hold it for a little bit longer. Focus on the breath in and out. 2 more breaths. Bringing the hands down, planting them in, bringing yourself up. We're going to tuck our back toes, inch our left knee forward until you can lift the hips and scoot back to down dog. For 1 breath. And of course, take a longer time to release if you need it. Left knee comes up, lay the leg down, flex the left toes, and put a block underneath your left hip if it wants to sink. So take a few moments planting down through the hands, shifting and bending, moving very, very slowly the right knee. If that doesn't feel good, just skip it. And when you're ready, deep breath in. And as you exhale, settle down. Deep breaths, letting your breath keep you present in this moment, simply by listening to that single point of focus in the breathing as it goes in and out. Your mind on that single point, even though it wants to be many pointed, many focused, it's all over the place. Whenever you can think about it, bring it in and refocus on the breath. You're training the mind. Two more breaths. Slowly, in your own time, bring yourself back up to your hands. Tuck your back toes. Bring your hips forward. And we're going to lift and come down to our left hip. And bring the leg around. Perfect. We're going to come all the way down to our back body. Make sure your block is within reach, and then roll down. So take a moment to rock from side to side, massaging the spine. As well as stretching out completely. Hands up above the head, feeling it all the way down to the toes. And as you exhale, relax the body down to the ground. Again, hit that pause button. Arms come out to T position. Lift the chest. Fold the shoulder blades under so you have lots of room. Let the spine come back down towards the ground. And then we're bending both of our knees up in towards our belly. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let both knees come over to the right side. Shifting so that both shoulder blades stay grounded. few breaths, letting your body settle, letting the breath soften and slow down. Relaxing the jaw. And if it feels okay on the neck, gazing over to the left. Let's take 3 more slow breaths in and out. And coming back to center. Hugging the knees in, rocking to massage the spine. Arms come back out. Take a big breath at the top. As you exhale, let both knees fall over to the left. Adjusting your shoulder blades. If it's okay on the neck, gazing to the right. Closing the eyes. Keeping your awareness turned inwards towards your breathing. Body release any kind of muscular tension. Maybe mentally you're holding on to something. Deep breaths. Two more full breaths in and out. And slowly bring the knees back to center, doing a little hug and rock. And then our last pose before Shavasana is Happy Baby. So bottoms of the feet face up towards the roof, grabbing onto the outside edges of the feet. If that's not an easy grab, hold on behind the knees. And then drag the shoulder blades back towards the ground. Take a few breaths as we compress the hip flexors, relax the chest, breathe into the belly. More breaths. And then let the bottoms of the feet come together in the air, switching your grasp to your ankles for a butterfly. Hit the pause, reconnecting, wiggling your toes. When you're ready, releasing the feet, coming back into Shavasana. So for Shavasana, lift the chest, fold the shoulder blades underneath. Lift the neck, tuck the chin, and then gently let it come back down, feeling that length in the back of your neck. Your feet and legs naturally fall away from one another. Hands are at your sides. Let's take 3 releasing breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Continuing to breathe, just your natural breath, not changing anything. Letting your eyes close and moving your awareness through your body as you relax all the way from the muscles in your face, down through your arms, and fingertips, down through the torso, and down each leg to the bottoms of your feet and toes. Feel the rise and fall of your belly, softening with each breath. And keeping your mind on that softening. Slowly bring your awareness back into your body, breathing a little bit deeper. Starting to wiggle fingertips and toes. And if it feels good to stretch out or to hug your knees into your chest, you can do both or neither. Ready, rolling over to your right side, cradling your head, taking a few more breaths. When you're ready, returning to your seat. nice and tall through the spine, taking a few breaths, keeping that connection to the breath, and take this time to reflect on your practice and what came up for you. Bringing your hands to the Anjali Mudra over your heart center. Non-excess turns us from greed to appreciation and pleasure without excess. In the dark and muck of golden lotus blossoms, grace awaits us. Be true to the purpose and limits of each thing in existence. Behave purely and serve purely the reality of what you are given by making every human function, without exception, a spiritual act of offering and reverence. Let's seal the practice today with one Om. So breathe in and out first. Inhale to Om. Thank you everyone for tuning in this week. Namaste.